I attended BTS Festa 2024 right here in Seoul. Here's the 411 and everything I got. The number one priority for our group, and I think most people who attended the event, was to get to the Army Zone and line up as soon as possible. We arrived at the venue about 2 hours before the event even started, and already there was a massive line. People had come from literally all over the world. Some people came directly from the airport. People had suitcases, and it was madness. Now, the Army Zone was for exclusive Weverse Army membership holders. And here you get a special free gift that included a phone strap, a character card for BTS Island, an exclusive commemorative ticket, and a pack of photo cards. Now, while we were in line waiting for that, I also needed to pick up the custom Festa shirt that I had ordered off of Weverse. So some of us stayed in line, and then me and another friend went to go check out that booth. By this point, the inside of the Festa ground area wasn't too crowded, but things were already starting to get a bit hectic and a little bit unorganized. So when I went to go pick up my shirt, I still hadn't received the QR code that I needed to actually receive it, because apparently the QR code machines were broken. And at this point, we realized that we had to register through the app for another booth that's an entirely different experience. The Weverse in Oasis booth was the next big thing to hit. When you first go in, you get to take a special commemorative photo booth photo, and at the bottom of the photo, if you have a special message at the end, you get this really special Festa gift. 777 lucky winners get this really cute metal tin with commemorative stickers inside, and I know it sounds like a lot, but there were thousands of people there. But who has 2 thumbs and got one of those tins? This guy.
Not a hug though.
Not a hug. The next part was a button making section where you can pick a design and then they can make you a custom button. After that, you move on to the next part where they give you a special Festa patch that you can put on anything you want. And lastly was the beaded keyring kit that you get at random, and I got Jin, which was really cool. Now keep in mind, while I'm taking my turn in the Oasis booth, I have a friend who's holding my place in the line where I'm supposed to pick up my merch, and we have another friend holding our place in the line that's for the Army Zone. So we're all taking turns trying to figure this out. Honestly, if you go by yourself, I feel like it's impossible to get to receive all the free gifts that they had offered at this event. Now, by the time I finished the Weverse in Oasis booth, the line had finally started moving to go pick up my pre-ordered merch. Mind you, I wasn't in the front of that line, but it was finally moving. At that point, I realized that things were getting a little unorganized because the line for that was snaking through the entire venue, and some people were coming in from one direction, people were coming in from the other direction, and the staff was having a really hard time organizing who was supposed to go where. Now, right now is the beginning of summer here in Korea, and it's going to be the hottest summer we've had in about 3 decades. So everyone has their fans, everyone has their umbrellas, it's super hot, people are really confused, people are getting a little bit cranky, but I finally picked up my merch. And the reason why I wanted to pick up my merch so early was because it comes with 3 patches. You have the logo patch, you have the insignia patch, and you get to pick your own member badge. So I really wanted to get V for myself and Jungkook for my mom, and I had to be there early because supplies are limited. When I get up to the front of the line, the girl in front of me just got the last J-Hope badge. So I was really worried I wasn't gonna get anything, but luckily they did have both of the badges I wanted. I picked them up, I got my shirt, and this is where I started getting texts from my friends saying that they're getting really close to the Army booth, and I'm not there yet. Also, it's so hot that my phone is literally overheating, and it's starting to malfunction, so it's telling me I can't take videos, I can't take pictures, and I'm starting to hear from people around me that the cell towers are overloading and people are having a hard time making calls or sending text messages. So now I have to take my t-shirt to get the badges ironed on, and then I have to go and find my friends and hope that my phone cools down enough for me to get a hold of them. Now the entire venue is just a sea of lines that I don't even know go to where, and most people who are standing in line don't even know what the lines are for anymore. So now my phone doesn't work, it's super hot, it's insanely crowded, and I'm trying to find my friends before they enter the Army booth, because once they're there, I won't be able to get in anymore. Finally, I get my phone to work, and me and my friends are coordinating, trying to find each other. I find them, We get in line, and right as we get in line, we're taken straight over to the Army zone. What I found out though was while we were in the official line for the Army booth, there was another unofficial line that had started to form going in the opposite direction, and they had been told to stand in that line while we were standing in a completely different line. So now we have two separate lines that had been waiting for hours in the sweltering heat to go to one single zone. But after about a 3.5 hour wait, we finally got our merch, and it felt pretty good. It felt well worth it. It was hot, but you know, go Army. Personally, I was already exhausted by this point, but we hadn't really seen any of the other booths yet, so we got into a line for the Papa booth. And here they gave away free stickers of Uto, which were really cute, and then we also got a button pin. And then they had a little raffle where I won a handband, which would have been really, really great if it also came with batteries. But I also won an ice pack, which was so perfect, and anyone who had one was just walking around with them on their heads. In the play zone, there were these capsule machines, and inside the capsule machines were balls, and in those balls were lyrics from BTS songs. If you flip over the paper and there's a number on them, you win an extra prize. And guess who won a prize? You guys have to understand, I don't ever win anything, so I was having a pretty decent day, and I got this shirt. I won this butter shirt. It's pretty cool. I was pretty pleased. In the play zone, there was also an area where you can craft something using upcycling, but you have to also register for that in advance. So we went ahead and we registered our phone numbers, and at this point we really needed to get out of the heat, so we headed over to a cafe and just took some time to regroup. After some much needed caffeine, we decided to rally, to go back to the venue and just take some videos and pictures because we hadn't really had a chance to actually enjoy the festival. We've just been moving from one line to another line to another line to another line, and we just really wanted to see what was up. When we arrived back at the Festa grounds, somehow it was even more crowded than it had been when we left. It's around 2:30 by this point, and there's just a ton of people, almost zero walking space, and we're pretty much ready to head out after that, but our appointment came up for our upcycling thing. In the upcycling area, we got to pick out 2 different colored plastic bottle caps, and we melted them, and we used a metal brand to create these little charms for Crocs. Now, I'm not really a Crocs kind of girl, but the charm was really cute, and I just didn't glue the back, and I just kept it as a little memento placard. Yeah, it's a super cute souvenir, but also we had to sit in this little plastic tent in a room with like 4 heated metal plates, and we were just smelting, and mine wasn't coming out. It wasn't coming out at all. So by the time we were actually done, I was just sweating. I felt like I had put in a hard day's labor, and it was not ideal. It's cute, but not ideal. Throughout the festival, of course, there's some Army members who are passing out really cute Festa gifts. I ended up getting these pretty thick photo cards that were really, really cute. And also because I'm a Tay bias, my friend made me some Tay photo cards and stickers and this beautiful double-sided banner. She's so crazy thoughtful. So it was getting a little bit close to 4. We're pretty much done. We did everything we possibly could do, even though the event goes until 7. A lot of the free stuff they were giving out had already been depleted. There was a coffee stand, my favorite coffee shop actually, Compost Coffee, that they were also giving away free coffee with a free Festa tumbler, and you know, there's no way to do it all. There's just no way, so we didn't get that. Overall, I had a really good time. It's always nice to have good company because I don't think I could have done this on my own. But I do have some tips for you guys if you're planning on coming to Festa in the future years. First off, Festa happens in the summer. Summers in Korea are very hot and they're very humid. You're gonna wanna lather on that sunscreen, you're gonna need an umbrella, nice cold water bottle, and of course a portable fan. Secondly, you're gonna need a team. You're gonna need friends. Trying to do all of these things without anybody else is going to be incredibly difficult. So meeting up with other ARMY beforehand is always a good idea. Third, HYBE events are notoriously unorganized. You guys are definitely going to want to ask questions directly to the staff, to multiple staff members, to know what lines are for what, where to go, because even then there was a lot of misinformation. So you don't want to ask the people who are standing in line. You want to go directly to staff members and constantly check if you're in the right place. Lastly, if you're coming just to enjoy the vibe with other ARMY members from all over the world, feel free to show up at the event a little bit later in the day when it's a little bit cooler. But if you're coming for the merch, if you're coming for the freebies and all of that, you're definitely gonna wanna come earlier on in the day, because by 3, pretty much everything is gone. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed my story time and all the merch. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them down for me in the comment box below. If you want to see more of my adventures and BTS events and all of that stuff, be sure to check out our blog, Instagram, and TikTok. And yeah, that's everything. Thanks for watching, guys. Borahe!